Evil and brokenness and sickness seem to be reigning in our world right now. With the case count of COVID 19 breaking past 1.2 million cases worldwide, it's just easy to think that this disease is winning and that God might be losing. COVID 19 is giving us a unique look into the spread of unrighteousness. In the last Devo, we mentioned Revelation 21 and 22, where we get a glimpse of the new heaven and the new earth that God is preparing for us. A new creation where God wipes away all of our tears. A world where there is no more death or mourning or crying or pain. A world where there is no more curse. In the new creation, God plants the tree of life that brings healing to the nations. We are told that this new creation is what God has planned for us. This new creation is what God desires. This new creation is what God's reign looks like. This is where the righteous ways of God lead to. COVID 19 is not stopping death or pain or mourning. COVID 19 is not moving along the righteous ways of God. We sometimes tend to think of righteousness as things like lying and murder and adultery, individual actions that may or may not spawn consequences for the rest of us. But this pandemic is unrighteous. It is out of alignment with the ways of God. We see unrighteousness spreading in a way that seems new to us. This unrighteousness is contagious. This unrighteousness is no longer an individual action. It is spreading around the globe at alarming rates. It continues to grow, and many of us fear that it may never peak. Life seems like it may never heal from the oppressive reign of the pandemic. Our actions seem too little, too late. In my mind, one of the worst things, one of the most defeating thoughts, is that this pandemic is not something new to the world. It's just new to me. Worldwide unrighteousness and evil reign with different enforcers. If it's not disease, then it's war. If it's not war, then it's poverty and starvation. Evil has been building strongholds and waging war against humanity throughout history. Evil knows how to spread fear and isolation and disunity. Evil knows how to make us turn upon each other, how to make us into selfish individuals who hoard resources out of fear that our needs won't be met, while we ignore the exact same needs in those around us. Evil knows how to make us feel like it's in control, how to make us feel like we are at its mercy. But evil lies. Evil scares us into the lie that its reign is forever. The truth is that only God's reign is eternal. The prophet Zechariah talks to the people of Israel and tells them how the reign of evil is temporary. He tells the Israelites how God is rising up and preparing the coming of God's kingdom. Then Zechariah turns his attention to the enemies of Israel, unrighteous nations that are spreading fear and oppression. Zechariah says, Tyre has built herself a stronghold. She has heaped up silver like dust and gold like the dirt of the streets. But the Lord will take away her possessions and destroy her power on the sea, and she will be consumed by fire. He will proclaim peace to the nations. His rule will extend from sea to sea and from the river to the ends of the earth. Zechariah tells the Israelites about God's coming kingdom. We've been told that too. We've been told about a new creation with no more curse, no more death, no more pain. A new creation where God dwells with us. Then Zechariah looks at the evil that's surrounding the Israelites and says, God is bigger than that. I know they've built giant strongholds for themselves and they've gathered up an immeasurable amount of wealth, but when the Creator rises up to put an end to their unrighteous ways, they cannot stand the power of God. Just you wait and see. And so here we are in that waiting to see moment. A COVID-19 is building around us. Death and pain and mourning are growing. Evil's trying to trick us into thinking that it can reign forever. But we know that only God's reign can endure forever. During the next Devo, we'll start talking about some things we can do while we're waiting on God. But today, I needed the reminder that this is temporary. The reminder that only God's reign will continue forever. And I hope that's a word of encouragement for you as well. Keep reciting the prayers that you wrote after the last Devo. Keep mourning over the fact that everything's not right in the world. Keep reaffirming your hope that God wants to and will make everything right. And when moments of fear and anxiety begin to overwhelm you, take a deep breath and repeat the phrase, God's reign is eternal. Evil's is not.